My last video I spoke about motivation. I think it's the last thing I ended on. So I want to finish up on that. Laziness. I don't know. I don't know. I know this is a fault on my side that I can't properly address that. But if you're lazy, you don't have the willpower, the desire to do something, whether it's go to the gym, work out, whatever, there's not much I can do about that, you know. We forge ourselves in the fire of our will. If there's no will, there's no fire. What's gonna happen? There's nothing there. So I'm gonna move on from that. But I do want to talk about something controversial. I know I'm probably gonna lose a bunch of followers. I think my first video, I lost a lot of female followers. What did I say? Oh, I said that in my opinion that if you're an Instagram influencer regarding fitness, it's harder if you're a guy than if you're a girl. That's just my opinion. I mean, that's not a girl's fault. That's because on Instagram, when a girl puts on some skin-tight booty shorts and does her thing, she'll get 10,000 likes without really ever saying anything. And I see a lot of Instagram fitness influencers, whatever you want to call them, doing exercises, workouts, showing what everyone else can do, and I'm looking at it thinking, this doesn't work. But it's someone's gonna get hurt doing this. But whatever, that's another story. Body positivity. All right. I'm gonna keep this short because, you know, however long I make it, whatever, it's gonna probably sound bad, but scientifically speaking, loving yourself is mentally healthy, but biologically the effect is negligible. What do I mean by that? I mean that if you Google things you can do to lower your risk of cardiovascular disease, loving yourself is not going to be on that list. It's not that loving yourself is not going to increase your risk of cardiovascular disease, obviously, but my point is that there's been this move I've noticed over the years, and I think it's sort of tied with feminism, because honestly, people mostly in these moves, these groups, whatever, are women, and what they're trying to push is that I feel they're trying to normalize being overweight, being obese. They're saying that they want a better representation or fair representation of obesity. I know there's some magazines, Cosmopolitan, some other magazines that have in the past featured a woman who was obese. I think one of them is something Holiday. I don't know her name. Tess Holiday, I think it is. Which, you know, she's an attractive woman, but she's morbidly obese. And there's a list of health issues that can and likely will result from being obese. And this video will be edited later, and I'll put a list of them up there, probably. I'm making fun of myself like I normally do. And it's probably because of spring break. No, I don't know why this traffic is so bad. It's 4 minutes in. So you should love yourself. There's no reason why you shouldn't love yourself. I mean, at the end of the day, you're all you've got sometimes. However, if you are obese and you're in denial about the health issues of that obesity, you know what? Let me put it this way. If you don't care, then whatever. If you're happy with the way you are and you don't care, that's fine. But here's something else I'm going to say that's somewhat controversial. That sucks. Poor guy's tires. Cab driver's company. His company should send someone out to do that for him. He works all for himself. Damn it, I lost my train of thought again. Yes, the health risks, body positivity. If you don't care, you don't care. But yes, the controversial thing. Okay, so I have mixed views when it comes to politics. In some views, I'm very, very progressive and liberal. Others, maybe not so much. Universal healthcare. I don't see why we couldn't afford universal healthcare. We cut back on certain things, but I would say this. I think it's unfair that a taxpayer has to pay an extra amount because there's a large group of people who are simply being lazy, irresponsible with their body. I mean, if you sit on the couch all day, shoveling junk food in your mouth, and you smoking cigarettes or something like that, you know it's not healthy. You know it's not good for you. If you don't know that, then you really need to get your education going. But at the end of the day, if we did have universal health care and you have a heart attack, you have a stroke, then the taxpayers have to come out of pocket to pay for that. So, like car insurance, if you've got tickets on your record, you've got accidents on your record, you've either been very unlucky or you're not a responsible driver. It's like a hypocrite saying that because I don't drive like a slow person. Quite the opposite sometimes. But yeah, you're going to pay more insurance, as a result. Although I can't stand insurance companies. I think they're like a legalized mafia. But in any case, if we're going to get universal health care, that's going to be an issue. 6 minutes. So, you might not care about your own health, but if you have a significant other, more importantly, if you have children, you should care about yourself. Even if maybe you will have children later on, and a lot of you. I don't have kids. I don't think I ever will have kids, but like my best friend, his son, he's like a changed man after his son. He's a little healthier, but still not quite there. But I'm sure if you have a kid, you want to be around longer, to be there for your kid. Whatever, find some motivation to be healthier. But understand that if you are obese, you have a high body fat percentage, you've increased your risk for cardiovascular disease and other issues. So being in denial about that and saying I love myself, it's not going to help. It's just not. And this movement, I just don't. Like I said, I don't get it. I don't get this movement. These. I've seen some videos of these women on the panel saying that the media is. And I agree that there was a time years ago. I thought it started in the 90s, but I've been told it started in the 60s and 70s when fashion would show these unrealistically anorexic women. I mean, when I say unrealistic, I mean that they photoshopped a lot of the images, so I guess it was in the 60s and 70s. But there are some women who were extremely anorexic, walking down the stage. I always found that somewhat unattractive. I mean, I've dated all kinds of girls, chubby, skinny, whatever. But what I'm really attracted to are, of course, athletic women. And anorexia is unhealthy, right? So that's one extreme. But obesity is also unhealthy. That's the other extreme. And I feel that the media should, portray a healthy-looking woman. Even just an average-looking woman, So I can understand their complaints there about, more diversity and more representation. But, a lot of these things are meant to be fantasy, not a representation of society. Victoria's Secret, whatever that thing is, that event that they have, the fashion shows, whatever. It's meant to be a fashion. It's meant to be like an art. That's an art form. Speaking of art, damn it, already. There was a time when being a little bit chubby was seen as attractive. Look at some of the paintings of old. Sometimes people see being a little bit chubby as a sign of wealth because you can afford to eat more. But ever since the Industrial Revolution and Agricultural Revolution, we can get food much easier than before, right? So it's much easier now than it was back then to get fat. And I know that some people are fat because of thyroid issues or whatever, metabolic issues, but that's a very, very small percentage. Very small percentage. So the majority of people who are overweight, you need to recognize that your health is at risk. All right? Okay, I'm going to end it here because it's already been about 10 minutes. I'll finish up some other time.